What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. Today I'm going to go over Sprite. I know this deck is going to be really popular and I haven't done an update for this deck in quite a bit. So I'm going to be showing you guys a Sprite. It's a little bit different now that we have some of the newer cards like Mulch Army, Floros. This is going to be a going first option. You definitely can play a going second version of Sprite. I don't think it's going to be quite good. I think that obviously Tempai kind of outshines it by being able to just have so much more extenders. But you definitely can play like the Mulch Army cards, AD shifters and stuff like that and try to go for the OTK. This is going to be going first. If this video does get over 50 likes, I'll make sure to do a Fiendsmith deck profile of this, and I'm taking that deck to locals, so there'll be some POVs as well as perhaps a vlog for it. So if you guys want to be seeing that, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button, as well as subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 10K, and we need you guys' support. So we're going to be diving on in with the 3 Sprite Blues, as well as the 3 Sprite Jets. This is very standard. You want to search for your monsters, search for your spells, and then we are still playing the 2 red and the 1 carrot. So the reason why we are playing these Sprite ratios here is because we want to be able to have most monster gates. You have Full Ross as well as Prelia, which I know a lot of players are talking about. Like, these are going to be the kind of the most impactful cards. Now this card is very good against your deck. All your monsters do special summon from the hand, so getting multiple draws of turns is going to be absolutely crucial. If you do get it set up a red, a lot of the times they'll start off with a Full Roast during the draw phase, and then if they do combo off or they do draw a little bit, you can go up into the Prelia. But if you have the red on the field already, being perhaps a normal summon if you have it, or summoning out from the deck and then special summoning out another one, can be quite crucial, So you want to have the negate up as quick as possible for these Mulch Army cards. And then for the secondary engine, we are going first, obviously. So we are playing the triple Nimble Beaver and the double Angler. So this is still going to be one of the best normal summons of your deck. We're not playing the Nimble, whatever it is, the Sunfish, which can help you do the OTKs. You can play that again if you want to play the going second version, but instead we're opting to play triple Swap Frog. So triple Swap Frog is going to help you get to your Omni Negate, which is going to be the Mirror Mage. So when this is summoned, it dumps this, which gets you a spell, and then you get your 2 Aquas go up into your Totally Awesome, which is totally awesome. So this is kind of it for your monster of the deck. We're no longer playing the Magnemite as well as the Druisworm, not because it's not good, it's just the fact that there's so many like Snake Eyes decks running around, the Fire King decks, and then other stuff as well, that you want to kind of like maximize the better cards you have, which you can see all the time. And unfortunately, those monsters are just not going to be doing enough. So that's like it for your monster lineup for your special summons. Now we're going to have those pesky hand traps. So this deck can play a bunch of hand traps, but we are playing the triple copies of Ash Blossom, triple copies of Availer, triple copies of Impermanence, as well as the triple copies of Dominus Impulse, and then we are running the 3 Nibiru's. So we are on 15 hand traps total. Now the difference of this and previous decks, so we have the Impulse. So if you want to play Full Roast, you definitely can, but this is going to be a going first version of the deck. So obviously you are going to have times where you are going to have to go second. So having the Full Roast in the deck can be definitely good. I'm just choosing person to decide it right now. So all these cards are going to be going good going first and going second. And like to have the fact that you have all these 6, I think these are completely mandatory for these 4. The only other card that would change is Nibiru. I was opting to play Cosmic for a bit at one point, but I ended up taking the Cosmic set just to play a Nightmare Phoenix. Now you might be wondering, why do you want to play Cosmic? Cosmic is insane going first and going second. Now obviously Full Roast is a better version of that, being able to just draw all those cards, which could maybe mean to play 2 Cosmics. I just really enjoy Cosmic this format, being able to hit like the Fire King deck, the Deceptions, even the Memento cards, just being able to hit like absolutely everything in this meta. It just feels quite nice to do. But this is kind of the hand trap that we end up sitting on. I do really enjoy it. 15 hand traps is going to make it so you do normally open 2 to 3 of them, and all of these should always be useful. Now for the other spells, we are obviously still on the triple starter, the 1 Call of the Grave and the 1 Freezing Chains, as well as the Double Cross and the Azarune. So you have to be careful about some of the cards here because of the fact that you are playing the Impulse. The Impulse does stop lights. So if you do go Impulse, you can no longer go Azarune, which is very important to note. This does stop Bestials as well. So that's kind of important to note that you can stop that. But then you won't have access to your Azarune. Now most of your extra deck cards are going to be dark, other than of course the Azarune, which is going to be a light with Silhouette Rabbit, and the Zeus. But other than that, you don't have to really worry about anything in your deck for the Impulse. Just note that you are playing the Azarune, and the Impulse does kind of conflict. So now we are going to be moving on into the extra deck. We are playing the 2 Gigantic Sprites. This card is going to be extremely good, making sure you can't get Nibiru'd. And then we also have the Totally Awesome. This is going to help you get into your Totally Awesome if you don't have a copy of Swap Frog in the hand. Totally Awesome is going to be absolutely crazy. Being able to steal some of your opponent's stuff as well. Stealing Deception or steal even the Hallow Adazumina, making sure they cannot get those cards to kind of resolve can be quite crucial. And then you have like a bunch of other cards as well that you could end up stealing. Like, unfortunately, you can't take a Fool Roast and bounce it back to your hand, because if you do back cards to your hand, you are going to be it's going to go back to your opponent's hand, which is kind of unfortunate. But it would be kind of cool if you could do that. Otherwise, you have to be careful on what you do. Totally Awesome, because they are going to be playing a lot of bait cards now in the format. Having some cards that just do multiple stuff, like a Wanted. You don't want to just stop the Wanted, because the Wanted is not going to be unfortunately doing enough. You want to stop some of those cards before you want to just still toad one of the first cards that you do. But now there's so many different cards that do the exact same thing. You have to be kind of more careful with your Totally Awesomes. Then for the other cards, like I mentioned before, these are kind of the ones that always come up. Sprint, IP, SP, and then the Rabbit. So Sprint obviously is send your anglers to go into full combo. And then the IP, SP, and the Silhouette Rabbit. Like I mentioned before, these two are part of your end board, normally the Silhouette Rabbit or the IP Masquerena. If you do have an Impulse and you want to be using it in the hand, you can't go for your Silhouette Rabbit, unfortunately. But it's going to be kind of important that you are mindful of that. I'll just put these off to the side. And for your others, we are playing the Ninja Mosquito. Once again, Impulse does conflict with this. You have to be careful about it, but a lot of the times it's not going to come up. This is for your OTK option. We have the Soul Sweeper as well, just trying to get rid of a bot in the field, your Downard and your Zeus. And then you have your Typhon as well. You don't really make this. I am opting to play this still. This is going to be one of the 3 cards that you can definitely change in your side deck or in your extra deck, which I'll mention down here. Then we have the Nightmare Phoenix. I think this card is absolutely mandatory now. I love this card. Being able to discard anything and then obviously go up into a pop a spell and trap card. I was playing Cosmic at one point. That tells you how important Nightmare Phoenix is in this format. Just being able to pop those spells and traps can be quite crucial. And then for the last 3 cards, I guess we have the Typhon, the Closed Moon, and then the Underworld Goddess. So this is simply because we don't no longer play the Magnamut and the Druid Worm. You're wondering why you want to do that. Well, Moon ends up making it so that this is going to be only a Link 3, essentially. So that's why we're going to be able to do that. We have Purely running around our locals as well. Shout out to Alex, where you can target this, go up into something big, and then if they have a Princess in the graveyard, you end up linking those away so they no longer have the fire access. It's just a really good card, and people don't really pay attention to it anymore. They also don't expect it. They consider it a bluff, especially because Spright can also play the Feastsmith package. People don't really expect it when it really can come up. So I really do like this package here. You definitely can cut it for the Celine access code package if you want to. I just really enjoying these two. This is like my 15th slot. I definitely have thought about playing anything else, but I have something else. I haven't quite decided what I want to do. Perhaps even a second SP Little Knight, but I'm not exactly quite sure. It could be a Unicorn as well if I want to go for Unicorn, Celine, and the IP or the access code, or even just a Dark Charmer as well. I haven't quite decided yet, but that's going to be really it for the extra deck. Now, I haven't finalized a side deck. Obviously, I can show you guys some different options that we can play. We are playing, obviously, the Fool Roast. That's going to be a crazy card, as well as the Prelias. We are focusing a lot on going first. Therefore, these are going to be cards you want to play. And then you have your Gamma Burst and even your copies of, the Shifters. There's different options you can do. You have lots of going second cards that are going to help you essentially win the game. Now your opponent's going to be making a little board when you do side these in, and then you have Shifter. So you have 9 auto cards that make your opponent not play as big. And then you end up going Gamma Burst, and then you summon out you make your opponent make a little board, and then you end up making your board going Gamma Burst just be able to OTK for game, which just helps you out so much when you have so many hand traps in your deck. You take out a little bit of your engine, you summon your Swap Frogs and stuff like that, and then you put in these cards, and you essentially just OTK and just get the game that way. So it's really fun to play. Your side deck is going to be looking a lot more like a going second deck, but you can just swap in and out. If you want to, you can also play these in the main deck and then play the traps and this stuff in your side deck. I just really like playing this in the main deck. I think the main deck is going to be one of the perfect cards. It's really good going first and going second because you do have all those hand traps. But then this is just going to help you finalize your OTK punches and stuff like that, which is absolutely crazy. Now, if you guys want to see any more content of this, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm always willing to play Sprite. It's one of my favorite decks of all time. If you want to be seeing the Feastsmith deck, remember, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Stay safe. Peace.